Like us, we're all in school. We're all getting our education. So obviously we're not lazy. We're getting up every day. We're going to school. Along with the black men in here, we're all doing it. So I just thought doing my black women was a good idea for the stereotypes. Does anybody have any specific judgments that they've had towards, you know, being a black woman or anything like that? No.
So in general, the topic is racial stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
And you focus on African American women.
Yes. Well, I'll just say a little story. A lot of people think that, like, I was raised in a white neighborhood. A lot of my friends in high school were white, but everybody like considered me, oh, she's the white girl, she acts white, whatever. And to me, that just kind of annoying because, like, what is acting white towards, like, just because you sound like you're educated? I didn't like that, but I dealt with it. So I mean, it is what it is. Both my parents are educated, so why do I feel like I need to act a certain way? And that was just one thing that I dealt with being a black woman today, you know. So I just felt like it was a good idea for me to be my own black woman. That's my part.
I did the history of stereotyping. There really isn't a set time or date where a stereotype began. It always been around, but I did get some facts. It says some sociology study the effects of the idea of the race on human behavior. They also explore the impact of ethnicity and ethnic group. Is a distinctive group or people within a group or people within a country. Ethnicity can be the biases for feelings of pride, but like race, it can also be biases for prejudice and discrimination. The word prejudice comes from prejudge. We prejudge when we have the opinion about a person because of the group they are associated with. The term stereotype is now used with reference to our society and the media of today. Stereotyping is spread widely, not only through our words, but through television, movies, newspaper, music, comic books, and talk shows. Stereotypes have happened in the 1950s and before then. So like, there hasn't been a set time. It's just always been around back to slavery, and people always want to stereotype people no matter what.
Okay, I did racial stereotype on movies, and the movie that I chose was The Princess and the Frog. And they actually took Disney Channel 75 years to get a black princess on film. But the majority of the movie, she played as a frog. She wasn't really like a woman throughout the whole movie. And she was a working class black woman. While in the regular Cinderella, her family was rich, but her stepmom made her a maid. So then the movie was set during the Jazz Age in New Orleans, she was struggling really. And her mom was a seamstress, which means like her mom looked after a white girl, a rich white child, which can be referred back to the age when in slavery it was called mammy, where the slave would watch over their master's child. So that could be like a reference. And the prince in the movie, he's not black. So that means they kind of show that black men can't be a prince, while the villain is a black man, which means black men are seen to be mean or dangerous. So that's what I did. And we got a video on racial stereotyping movie, Soul Plane.
Top down. should make a real commitment to overcome racial stereotypes. This can be achieved by first acknowledging that we're all human, that we all do harbor racial stereotypes. Next, we should try to work to become more aware of our inner thoughts and feelings and how they affect our beliefs and actions. When we have a stereotypical thought about a racial group, we should follow it up with an alternative thought based on factual information that discounts the stereotype. We can obtain this factual information by leaving our comfort zones and exposing ourselves to people of different races. Also, we should be willing to engage in honest dialogue with other races that at times can be difficult or uncomfortable. We should also seek out media portrayals of different races that are realistic and positive. Attending churches, plays, concerts, and movies that celebrate diversity will broaden our worldviews. As we gain more awareness and knowledge about racial stereotypes, not only will our racial stereotypes lessen, but we will also become more equipped to calculate and to educate and challenge others about their racial stereotypes.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
What are your own personal views on stereotypes, and what are some of the, I know you mentioned your experiences, but I would also like to hear other people, some of your personal views, and also, that's one part of the question. The second part of the question would be, do you think that society has changed its views in terms of how they look at African American women, Hispanic, Asian, and so on and so forth? That's the second part of the question.
Racial stereotyping for me, like I said, everybody does it. Everybody gives a generalization of a certain culture, group, whatever. I personally try not to do it. I don't believe in like judging a book by its cover. I mean, I've done it before, but I don't believe in like thinking somebody of a certain way because of where they're from or who they are, that kind of deal. What was the second part of the question? The society. Amongst people in society, of course, you have like everybody. People feel that you know, white people, they are usually come from money or whatever. Asians, they're usually the smarter group, or just. I feel like it's still, people still do racial stereotyping today. It hasn't changed as much, but for Black women and in the Black community, I think we've progressed better with the stereotypes that people have given us. We're not lazy. We don't just sit around and do nothing. More Black people are getting out, doing things, being proactive, especially at Central where you have to do community service. It's like a mandatory thing. I feel like that's also a good contribute to Black people, and like, you know, we're helping out with the community, we're being more proactive. So I feel like in that sense, we are changing what people think of us. So that, yeah. But everybody to me is still gonna believe a certain way. I mean, it has to do with a lot of how you're raised as well. Your parents always taught you to be a certain way or to think a certain way about people, then obviously you're gonna probably think that way about whatever. Even with politics, that kind of stuff. Your parents grew up Democrat, more likely you're gonna be Democrat. Just how that is, how you grew up has a lot to do with stereotyping and like a generalization of everybody. So that's my opinion.
I think stereotyping is always going to go on. Like, people never thought we would be able to have a Black president, and we have one now. Like, it's always been a tradition to have like a white president, and finally we have a Black one. And then, like, I was discussing with my friends about, because I said I wanted to become the first Black woman president. They didn't think I could do it because they said that Black women, you know, like Black women couldn't be able to do it. But I think I could. Like, if a Black man could do it, a Black woman could do it. Just because he's a man, they said like women are more emotional than men. I don't think so. I think men are emotional too. They just have a different way of showing it. So like, to me, that was stereotyping, like saying that women, you know, can't have the upper hand. which I think we could. And I also have another one, like I hang around, like when I'm at home, I have a diversity of friends. Like we all come from different places and we all look different and we all are different races. And one of my friends, she's Hispanic, and when we go to her house, people automatically walk in and be like, what a rice at? Like, they eat food, you know, regular food too, not only rice, they eat chicken and stuff the same too. Just because they're Hispanic doesn't mean anything. So people often judge us by how we look in the race. And if you see a person like hanging with like a group of white people, you automatically get called stuck up or just get called different out of your name, which they don't even know you. So like I said when I was speaking, there's been prejudice. You prejudge somebody before you even get to know them. So I think stereotyping will always be around, which it shouldn't, but it's just something we have to deal with. In society, to me, I think it hasn't changed. It's still the same thing. Old things get brought up. Like in slavery days, women they never had an upper hand. And today, people still look at women as the same thing. So to me, I think it will never change. Not right now.
Yeah.
Have y'all looked into the types of ways that people have tried to prevent this from happening? Stereotyping. Like, is there anything like in the world?
I feel like in the media, they're not trying to prevent it because in this movie, Princess and the Frog, every little girl that's seen this movie, she's gonna think that she have to work to make it in life, and she's gonna think like her mom had to work with the higher class in order for them to make it. Like the media is not putting a good image on black people overall. So I feel like the media is not trying to help with racial stereotypes.
And I think you can't prevent stereotypes. You can't stop nobody from saying their opinion. You can't stop nobody from talking. They don't say what they want to say.
But I feel that even though you can't stop other people, you can start with yourself. You don't have to be that person to stereotype or give judgment amongst people. I mean, you can't control anybody else, but you can control yourself. And I think if everybody felt like that, like if everybody stopped racial stereotyping, then it would be less than trying to get other people to do it.
Well, I think people should just be open to other people's thoughts and views. Just like what I said when I was talking, we have to be able to engage in honest dialogue with other people so that they can, even though it may be like uncomfortable, if we talk to other people about that we're not used to talking to, they're really learn a lot.
I'm Michele Washington. Aaliyah Shipp.
Yvonne Roberts.
Carissa McAdoo.